Imagine for a moment that you are looking at the sky on any night in 2029, and suddenly you see a bright point moving slowly among the stars. It is not a plane, it is not a satellite. It is an asteroid the size of 3 football fields, passing closer to Earth than many satellites in orbit. Its name? Apophis, the Egyptian god of chaos and destruction. And today, I am going to tell you why this encounter may be much more dangerous than NASA wants to admit. What they do not tell you is that this cosmic encounter could forever change our perception of planetary security. Did you know that there are thousands of asteroids in space that we simply cannot see, and that some of them may be coming directly toward us at this exact moment? The reality is that our ability to detect these space rocks is nowhere near as good as we think. Experts quietly admit that we live in a kind of Russian roulette without even realizing it. I will give you an example that will make your hair stand on end. In December 2024, an asteroid only 6.5 feet in diameter exploded over Russia, creating a fireball that crossed the sky at 4 times the speed of sound. Do you know how much warning time we had? Only 12 hours. 12 hours! If it had been something bigger, it would have been impossible to evacuate an entire city in such a short time. Imagine waking up and discovering that you have less than half a day before a possible catastrophe. But that is nothing compared to what happened in 2013, also in Russia. An asteroid the size of a tennis court exploded with the force of 30 Hiroshima bombs. The explosion shattered windows within a radius of hundreds of miles, injuring more than 1,500 people. And do you know what is most terrifying? We did not see this asteroid coming. It was a total surprise. People were simply living their normal lives when the apocalypse almost knocked on the door. The problem is that these objects come from the sun side, where they remain practically invisible to our telescopes. It's like trying to see a grain of sand against a giant spotlight. And here's the crucial point. If the 2013 asteroid had entered the atmosphere at a steeper angle, it would have hit the ground with the force of a nuclear bomb. Imagine if this had happened during the Cold War. It could have triggered a nuclear war by mistake, the fate of humanity hanging by a thread, literally depending on the entry angle of a space rock. Now, back to Apophis. Scientists say that the chances of it hitting us in 2029 are practically zero. But here's something that few people know. Asteroids can have their orbits altered by the gravity of larger planets. A small push from Jupiter, and suddenly that safe trajectory becomes a direct projectile toward Earth. It's like playing cosmic billiards, where a single wrong shot can completely change the game. I will show you what would happen if scientists were wrong about Apophis. Using scientific simulations, if this space monster hit a major city, it would create a crater 6.2 miles in diameter and 1,970 feet deep. The impact would instantly vaporize 200,000 people and release more energy than the entire world consumes in a year. We are talking about releasing in seconds all the energy that humanity uses in 365 days. The resulting fireball would extend for more than 9.3 miles, incinerating everything in its path. People 43.5 miles away would see their clothes spontaneously catch fire. Trees more than 87 miles away would also burst into flames. It is hard to even imagine the terror of seeing the entire horizon in flames within minutes. But it does not end there. The shockwave would knock down all buildings within a radius of more than 62 miles. Houses up to 93 miles away would probably collapse. The winds generated by the impact would reach speeds of more than 9,320 miles per hour. To give you an idea, the strongest wind ever recorded on Earth was only 249 miles per hour.
It would be like facing dozens of Category 5 hurricanes simultaneously. And there would still be a massive earthquake of magnitude 7.3 on the Richter scale, which would be felt more than 155 miles away. We're talking about a catastrophe that would completely change civilization as we know it. The impact would be so devastating that it would redefine our history into before and after the event. The good news is that there is hope. NASA has already managed to deflect an asteroid for the first time in history with the DART mission. They basically crashed a spacecraft into an asteroid to see if they could change its trajectory. And it worked. The asteroid had its orbit altered by more than 30 minutes. But here is the big problem. For this to work, we need to detect asteroids when they are still very far from Earth, decades in advance ideally. And as we have seen, our detection capability still has enormous flaws. There is a specific type of asteroid that is almost impossible to detect, those that come from the direction of the Sun. They are literally hidden in the solar glare, invisible to our telescopes until it is too late. It is as if space had a giant blind spot, and that is precisely where the most dangerous asteroids can come from. Another thing that few people know is that the space around Earth is full of cosmic debris that we have not yet cataloged. There are thousands of space rocks out there that we simply do not know exist. Some may be small and harmless, but others may be large enough to cause continental devastation. The last major impact we had was in 1908 in the Tunguska event in Siberia. An asteroid only 262 feet in diameter, much smaller than Apophis, knocked down 80 million trees in an area of 772 square miles. The explosion was 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb in Hiroshima. And that was just a small asteroid. Now imagine what an object the size of Apophis could do. We're talking about something 16 times larger than the Tunguska asteroid. The destructive potential would simply be unimaginable.
But I do not want you to panic. I want you to understand the reality. Scientists are constantly working to improve our detection systems. New telescopes are being developed. Observation techniques are being perfected, and missions like DART are proving that we can do something about it if we detect the threat in time. The real danger is not necessarily Apophis in 2029, but rather all those asteroids that we still do not know about. Those that may be approaching at this exact moment, hidden in the sun's glare or in orbits that we have not yet completely mapped. The question is not whether another large asteroid will hit Earth. It is when. The history of our planet is marked by catastrophic impacts that changed the course of evolution several times. The dinosaurs learned this the hard way 66 million years ago. The difference is that, for the first time in Earth's history, there's an intelligent species capable of doing something about it. We can detect these objects, calculate their trajectories, and even deflect their orbits. But only if we invest enough in the research and development of these technologies. When Apophis passes by us in 2029, it will be a very visual reminder of how vulnerable we really are. But it will also be a unique opportunity to study a large asteroid up close and further improve our planetary defenses. The truth is that space is a dangerous place, full of giant rocks flying at incredible speeds, and our little blue planet is right in the middle of this cosmic danger zone. But knowledge is power, and the more we understand about these threats, the better prepared we will be. So when you look at the sky on a starry night, remember that up there are forces that can completely change our civilization in the blink of an eye. But also remember that we are the first species on Earth capable of doing something about it. If you found this content interesting and want to know more about the mysteries of space that can affect our life on Earth, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel by activating the bell so you do not miss any news. And since you made it this far, I highly recommend that you watch the suggested video that is appearing on your screen.
Until the next space adventure, and remember to keep your eyes on the sky, but your feet on the ground.